YouTube, Reseller Mom here. Welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to show you how I package up clothes for Amazon FBA. So let's get started. First up, I would like to go through some of the tools and equipment that I use to package up my clothes. First up is for tag removal. Today we're going to be using acetone. I prefer the 100% acetone. This was 97 cents at Walmart if you're going to go out and get some. I've also purchased at the dollar store. It doesn't really matter if you get the 100% acetone or some of the other similar kinds. It usually will work, but if I had to go out and buy one, I like the 100% acetone altogether. Sometimes alcohol comes in handy. Again, this is my preference, is the 91% alcohol. They do sell it in 70% and other percents, but I prefer the highest grade that you can get. It just seems to work a little bit better. Again, not very expensive. That was at Kroger, which is our Fred Meyer's here. So it's just store brand. You don't have to go out of your way and get anything super special. Other things that I sometimes use is Sprayway glass cleaner, Goo Gone, Clorox scrubby wipes for shoes and the sides of shoes. Anything that's kind of got a rubbery consistent to it. Here, I'll show that really quick. I think I can reach it. These guys are really good for cleaning like the bottoms of shoes and things like that, especially for eBay. If you go to the bins and get shoes to resell, that comes in handy. Other things that I use are just microfiber rags. That is for using the acetone or cleaning products. I like non-scented baby wipes to clean up any kind of smudge that's on the clothes. Usually I find this with white clothes or very light clothes. Sometimes you'll get, it's like the goo that's on the hanger, kind of that grayish muck. I don't quite know what to call it. Tarnish, maybe? Will sometimes wind up on the collar or something of a shirt, and these non-scented wipes will usually just wipe it right off, and easy peasy. Next thing that I would suggest getting in your arsenal is a lint roller. It's hard to really resell any clothes without a lint roller. I don't know a single person that resells clothes that does not have a lint roller within arm's distance. That is a must-have. I don't really have any preference other than whatever you can find that is the cheapest possibility. Next up, a gun. I love this little gun. It was a new toy for my business about a year ago, and I love it. If I wind up getting something and I take the tags off and I find out that it's restricted for whatever reason, I can just reattach it and return it or whatnot. And I have had tags fall off at the store or in the bag or white packaging, and I can just get them reattached. Sometimes you will need a tape measure and scale. If the item is not in Amazon's inventory, you will need to add the dimensions, but everybody should really have a scale and a tape measure by this point. And then last thing that is my go-to for clothing is poly bags. There are two kinds that I want to show you here, and I'll go through kind of the differences, but I highly suggest getting poly bags that have the suffocation warning on them and that are also self-seal. There's two different self-seal types out there. There's ones that are resealable and ones that are not resealable. I don't remember what they're called, but they're super duper sticky. I like the super duper sticky ones. I don't really have any reason to get the resealable ones, and you want to make sure your items are going to seal and seal shut. Now with these two bags, you'll notice the seal things. There's two different, this one's more, well, it's fatter and it's thinner. These guys, when you rip them off, they tend to get really staticky, and sometimes it can be really a pain in the butt to go out, but they are about half the cost of these guys. And these guys have a little bit nicer of a strip. There is a third option. I don't have any more that come with a clear, and then there's like a little bit of red to them, and they absolutely get everywhere with their static cling, and I just refused. After trying to get some off of my arms and pants and everything in here, it just became such a nuisance that the savings was not worth it. Now, some of the other things that I do have in my arsenal to help out with are a few stickers, grabbing those really quick, that I like to keep around just for general Amazon stuff, you never know when you're going to need them. And they're right here. So if you have a poly bag that does not have a warning sticker on them, you can get these pretty cheap. I think a roll, 2 rolls is, $6 to $10 for 2,000 of them. So I like having those in my arsenal in case if I do need to add these to whatever bag going on. Next is, this is, as I said, this is a set, do not separate. If you're ever going to bundle anything, you need to keep some of these on hand. They do come in handy. There's a lot of things I bundle up that are clothing or cloth-like. For instance, there are some dollar store kitchen towels that you can bundle up to a couple to a pack and put this on the bag. You need to make sure that the warning sticker's on there, and if you sell anything that is a set, you need to put this on here, or Amazon can open up your bag, take things out if they don't see this type of sticker. And then the last sticker thing that I will show you is this guy right here, and these are called Wafers. They are just clear plastic wafers. I'm not sure the camera, you can see where my finger was, my fingerprint. These are great to reseal things. They come in handy when you have packs of, a lot of times like underwears or socks, and maybe the packaging is coming undone or something. You can take off the damaged one or help seal it up with these. So you never know when these are going to come in handy. This is, I don't remember the size of this. I think it's 1 inch in diameter. I also keep, I believe, 1/2 inch in diameter on hand, just so that I can use them to seal up. Now, most of these things are just nice to have and not necessary. You do need some way to clean the clothes or get them presentable by taking off the tag, getting them packaged up. You will need poly bags. That is absolutely a necessity. You will need a lint roller. That is a necessity. And you will need a way to get tags off if you are going to buy retail arbitrage type items. There's almost always tags to be taken off and such. You can order just wholesale items, and then you won't have tags to take off, but you may need to cover up barcodes. This is not an example, but sometimes you will have items that have a barcode and you cannot show any barcodes, so you'll need to cover them up. There are a variety of stickers and cover-up stickers you can purchase from Amazon or, eBay or any other online platform. I prefer just to use my Dymo and print out solid blocks. So all I did for my Dymo was open up the Dymo program, insert in a square box, make it as large as I can, and then make it black with black outline. And that's it. So I have a black label. Then I take them and I cut them into thirds or leave them whole depending on the barcode. And if you need to take them off and cover up the barcode, usually it's about the third of a size of one label. So it's not just an FBA label. These FBA labels are, let's see here, 2 1/4 by 1 1/4 inch. And then that way the barcode is covered up. This I find handy with, like, say, pairs of jeans and there is a tag on the back pocket. You need to cover that up. And I don't necessarily like putting on my FBA label on that. I want to put my FBA label on the outside, but I want to cover up that barcode. Anyhow, they just come in handy to have laying around for those situations. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how I package this up, and then we're going to take off a label, and I will show you start to finish what I do with these labels. So with these green Gloria Vanderbilt jeans, I picked them up at Kohl's for $8 a piece. They're going for about $35 on Amazon. You do need to be ungated in clothes, but Gloria Vanderbilt is one of those that is not another, I don't believe the brand is locked down. I don't remember ever getting ungated for that specific jean, but if I did, it was an auto ungate, so go ahead and try it if you are not ungated for Gloria Vanderbilt. These jeans are in pretty good condition. I've already lint rolled once. I'll lint roll again real quick here. Saw just a little bit of pieces of fuzz. And for jeans, clothes, whatever, you may have to play around with a little bit. And one thing that helped me was going into stores and seeing how they folded up things, or ordering clothes online and just paying attention to how they packaged up things. With jeans, a lot of times they fold over this kind of poke out, I don't know what you call it, but that little area. And then I like to fold them in half, and then either half again or into thirds. When I bag my product, I want this edge or side, whatever side's the kind of got the more information on it, I want that facing my customer so that they can see what they ordered and what they got. It's nothing like getting a bag of something and you're like, what the heck is this? What did I order? I want people to be very, very much aware of what's going on. Okay, so these aren't going to fit in my 11 by 14, so I'm just going to go ahead and fold them into thirds really quick. With this one, I'm hiding the UPC label just kind of in there, so when I fold it up, it's going to be hidden and I don't have to worry about covering up any barcodes. And I'm going to go ahead and give that a third fold with the pocket still on the visible outside there, and stick it into the bag. There we go. And these are not resealable bags, so if I do mess up or find a mistake or something, I need to take them out and I waste the bag. But that's okay. Bags are not that expensive. And let's see here, size. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick my FBA label on there, and ta-da, it is done, ready for shipping. So I'm going to toss that one into my shipment box, and we're going to get started on this one right here. For this one, we have a couple of tags on here. You've got originally $40, 80%, $8 now. And that's kind of what I'm looking for when I'm at the store sourcing. I want to look for something that is, you know, in that 75 to 100% off. With Kohl's, sometimes I can do 60% off and still make a pretty good deal, but usually Amazon is at the original price or a little bit below it. So if the original MSRP is $40, I have a good feeling that Amazon's going to be right around between $35 and $45. So I need to make sure I get it for a good price to have enough margin in there to pay Amazon their fees and to make some profit. With Amazon, they do not want the barcode showing. They do not want the MSRP on there. So as a standard practice, I take all MSRPs off. So that's pretty easy. I fold back, I fold back. You can try to tear it off, but I find that if I don't do the folding perforating, I wind up with a jaggedy mess and it just doesn't look good. The reason they don't want the MSRPs on there is they get customer complaints. If, say, it says MSRP 40 and they paid 60, they might get upset. Or if it's a gift, you don't want that MSRP on there. Now, for this part, peeling the sticker. I use my nails. I have nails. I do have one of these little things. It's a clay molding doodad. There are Scotty peelers out there that are good too. Heat guns are another option. I do not have a heat gun yet. It is one of the few tools that I have not broke down and purchased. But I have heard that if you do not have nails, the heat gun is kind of the next best way to go, or a heat gun with the Scotty peeler. So I just kind of get it started with my nail and then gently peel back. With the Kohl's labels, they are kind of in thirds, as with, who else does thirds? Target does thirds. Walmart's kind of got a little bit different of a sticker attachment, but I want to make sure that I'm not ripping anything and just kind of taking my time. Like I said, these guys are going to go for about $35, $40. I paid $8 for them, so I'm making about, oh, we'll just say $10 profit each. For $10 profit, you can stand to be a little patient with getting these off. A good thing to do is to line up some YouTube videos or something to watch or listen to, maybe an audiobook while you do it. Now, once in a while you can take the sticker and just kind of dab the rest of the residue and it will come off. And I just dropped the sticker on the floor. That's okay. Pick it up later. In this case, you cannot. So I don't think the camera is going to pick it up, but there is a sticky residue there, and you do not want to get that sticky residue on there. The two options from this point are to cover up the sticky residue, which sometimes I'll just take these blank labels and put them over like that. You know, I didn't take the label off, but then you're covering up the UPC code, which is fine because Amazon wants you to, and you're covering up the sticky residue. That comes in handy because sometimes they put these labels over the barcode, and when you take it off, it messes up the barcode if you're not very gentle or whatnot. So that's an option, just to cover that all up. And then if the customer gets it, you know, it's been all covered. But I don't like to do that because it's got information here, and I want to have that information available to my customer. So I would rather just take the goo off in this scenario. So I grab my little handy dandy microfiber rag. When I use these microfiber rags, I try to only use it for one product. So today this is orange. It would be with my nail polish remover. I'm going to open this up. As a general, I don't know, best practice, I keep these guys top on, screwed on, because I have knocked it over so many times. I'm glad I do that, because it would just, it would tear up my table. It could land on product. It could take off things you don't want to. When you're starting this kind of process, you want to kind of do a test, which I did earlier, to make sure that acetone was the correct product to be using. And in this case it is, but the acetone will take off this little green section on the tag. So I want to make sure I'm very precise. You can get Q-tips out. I might go get a Q-tip actually, because I'm getting a little tired of being so precise with my finger here. I'm putting this down underneath it so that if I go over, I don't hit my table. Sorry about that. Anyhow, so I just gently take my finger and get this off. A little hard to see the way the light is falling. Sometimes you got to feel it with your hand and see if any stickiness is there. Shouldn't take too long. Of course, the more I try to do this on film, the worse I'm getting here. Okay, I think I got it all. Let's see here. Just feel it around. All right. There we go. Now, this needs to dry just a bit with the 100% acetone. That's why I like it. It dries pretty darn fast. I feel like there's just a tad more. There we go. Okay, so that is all ready to go. Put up my rag. I can't leave my rag on the table. If you've Mod Podged, if you leave acetone rag on here, it will stick to the table. So I have a little spot over my other little shelf to put that on. Okay, there we go. Now with the acetone, it dries really quick. The window cleaner and other stuff also dries really quick. I'm gonna move this stuff over here too. Make sure that's on. Next is we're going to get a lint rolling, which, you know, that's pretty easy. Nothing really to it. This one has some strings down here at the legs. Just manufacturer strings. I don't know what they do when they send them to the store. The other thing is, like, sometimes at the store, customers try them on or drop them, or, boy, there's always some sort of screaming kid going on that is tugging and pulling, and you never know. You want your customers to get something that is brand new, that looks brand new, that doesn't look like it's been dragged through dirt or mud. I normally don't have to do this much lint rolling, but this one seems to have attracted a lot of goobers. Goobers. There's like a little sticker on there. I don't know what that was. Interesting. They do not look like they've ever been tried on, though. The creases are still there from the factory, so that's good. If something does look like it's been tried on and it's got, say, crease marks in the knees or for men's stuff in the crotch, I would not suggest using those at all. If you question it, then there's a good chance that your customers are going to question it. Same goes for wholesale items or online arbitrage or anything like that. I have definitely received OA and wholesale items that I'm going, what happened here? I don't quite get it. It looks messed up for whatever reason. There's just all sorts of funny things that happen in this business. Can't name them all. Okay, so now that I've got that done, let's make sure the camera is good here. I'm just getting them all lined up so that I can fold them appropriately. Little piece of lint. Okay, so I folded in like that. And with clothes, you do something similar. You just find what's going to work for these and your bags going on. You don't want your clothes to look like they were manhandled or shoved into a bag, but you want them to look nicely folded. And there's tons of videos out there on how to fold things. I've been doing the Con Marie stuff at home, and so she has a great way of folding things. Anybody that's worked in the retail business has done folding. There's folding tables that you can get for your t-shirts to make that perfect fold that you can get and pick up for your business too. So I've got them all, got it folded. I want to double check the size and everything, make sure it matches my FBA label over here, which matches what I'm working on currently. And once again, we're just going to stick it into the bag here and get it going to its location. All right, so everything has got kind of its own little quirk to it. Walmart clothes, sometimes they will say by Walmart or have the price tags on them. With those and with bras, I don't know if I could find one off the top of my head here. Yeah, here we go. I did. Look at that. This one right here, another $8.40 item. The MSRP is $42. You see how that MSRP has the 42 written right there. This is when those little tags come into play. If I can get them. They're stuck to the bottom. I can't get them out. So these are just 1/3 of an FBA label from my Dymo. I would take that, cover up the 42, cover up the barcode, take off the tag, bag and tag. Now with bras, I've read a lot of different posts. With bras, I like to go ahead and kind of fold them like that, neaten it up, of course, and then put a bubble mailer, like these guys, in the midst. So each kind of item has their own, ooh, this girl might need two, but you see what I'm saying there. So each item, each store, each scenario is going to be slightly different. So it's good to have a lot of different things in your arsenal to deal with all of those things that are going to come up. With Ross and Marshalls, I like their clothes because I can just take the tag right off and just snip it off. With those tags, I go ahead and keep them. I have a little vase, pretty little vase with a mermaid on it. I stick the tags in there, and then if there's any sort of issue with the tag, I can go and reference those tags. It has come in handy once or twice to need them or go back and look at them for a couple of weird scenarios. So I like having those on hand. It doesn't take up much space in the office. With Walmart, I find that a lot of times they do have the price tag on them like these bras, so I wind up just covering those up, and I try to cover up the Walmart tag too, because customers can complain about that too. If they see that this is a Walmart thing, you'll see it on customer reviews, people complaining that this was cheap or this was just a Walmart item. Same with dollar store items. This was a cheap dollar store item. You can just go get these at the store. They'll make customer reviews like that. So you want to make sure that your stuff is nice, presentable, folded well. If I do have a t-shirt with like a graphic design, I will fold it in a way where the graphic design is up front and the other part of the t-shirt is on the other side. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about clothing. I don't really have too much else. Belts I just roll up and put into a bag. Socks I put into a bag. Again, with the socks, I'm usually covering up the barcode because there's no real way to fold socks to make the barcode not show up. With underwear, packs of underwear, I usually do polybag them too. Sometimes the ASIN will say this item needs polybagging on those items. Sometimes they won't, and it's just like common knowledge that you'll need to do that. Like say for instance, these little sandals. We'll go with sandals. These little sandals say they didn't say they needed polybagging, but you have this plush stuff right here. So pretty much if it's plush in any sort of way, you want to put it into a bag. That's a good rule of thumb. You'll never get in trouble by bagging something. You'll get in trouble if it's not bagged and it needs to be bagged. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. Anyhow, if you have any questions or if I left anything out or if you have any tips for me, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. If you like these types of videos, please give me a thumbs up. I will be trying to do quite a few of these videos with different things on how to pack up. I've done one on glass. I'll do one on clothes. I'll try to do one on maybe food and maybe medicines and things like that. And that's it. You guys have a great day, and I hope this helped you out. Thanks. Take care.